Hi, guys. This is the Data Rules podcast, where we just go and get the leading experts in the data space and we just talk about data. Usually, this is most people find data very boring, but this is for the nerds, for the people that really enjoy interacting with and changing around manipulating data. This is what this audience is for. Today, we have Mark on, and he creates templates for Google Data Studio, which is an amazing platform to basically customize the data the way you want it. He's going to go through a little about who he is, what he does, and then we'll dive right in. Today, we're going to be talking about data-driven advertising campaigns, and we'll get into the dashboard and analytics behind it. Mark, thank you so much for joining today.
Pleasure. Good to meet you. Good to be here.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I do a few things. The main thing that I'm doing at the moment is I run an agency, an analytics agency, and we've actually been working with Power My Analytics for quite a while now. We do all sorts of things like reporting dashboards and all sorts of performance templates that we've been building in-house. And one thing that grew out of that was we created a template marketplace called byMarketers.co, and we've been partnering really strongly with Power My Analytics to build some of those dashboards and power some of those dashboards. So that's been a really interesting project, which I'm sure we'll talk about a bit more. And we've also started working a lot with Amazon as well. So we're working on 3 key projects at the moment.
That's amazing. So diving right in, what do you see? How do you really make a? You can make anyone can make a dashboard with a million numbers on it, and where it's just like you can't really analyze it. It really doesn't make sense. How do you really make an actionable dashboard? Because that's where all the real value is. Because you can put a million numbers on a dashboard where your brain is just gonna skim through it and just say I don't care. But making an actionable dashboard where it's engaging is a whole other skill by itself. So how do you really go about making these engaging dashboards?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So
Mhm.
there's a couple of things there. I think one of the biggest issues is this kind of analysis paralysis
Yeah.
thing where
Yeah.
you kind of create a dashboard, and because especially with Google Data Studio, which is what most of the dashboards are created through, it's just so easy to create awesome tables and charts and stick as many on the page as you want, and it's so easy to put so much data there that it's actually counterproductive. So I think there's a few things. Firstly, it's kind of like when you build a slideshow. You know, you can put on the slide a table and a chart, but you should always really have a couple of bullet points on that slide as well to explain what you're talking about, so that even if the presenter wasn't there, the person looking at the slide could actually work out what's going on. So I think, having on your dashboard a little bit of text is always good. So when we create reporting dashboards, for example, we create a space for text, especially for reports, where we can actually present in proper language what we're talking about. So I guess the first thing is not too much data on the actual dashboard,
Yeah.
right? So keep it all to the same theme. And another point is also to have some real language there about what you're actually trying to show. I guess it's different depending on what type of dashboard you're looking at. So if it's a monthly reporting dashboard for a client, then that's a really good way to present real language. But if you're doing some kind of analysis dashboard, so we create things like for Google Ads, we create kind of what do they call them? Auction insights reports and things like that. So
Yeah.
there it's more difficult to put some text, but still to keep it a very simple theme on that page.
And
Yeah.
also, I think it's really important to understand your audience. And what type of dashboard you're making. Are you making a very high level dashboard, or back to where you're saying the auction insights dashboard for those PPC strategists, the ones that are constantly in the weeds that need to know what keywords are performing, which ones are doing this, and understanding like how granular do you want to go? Because as data people, we love data, and we can go to granular. We can get to the like the not just keyword insight. We can get to the like the letter insight, like how deep we want to go. And it's really important to understand, like, if you're presenting a dashboard to a client and you do it in a more holistic way, you're going to look at top line numbers. Like, are we growing or are we falling? That's really all they care about. Like, how much are we spending? Are we going up? Are we good? That's really all they care about. And then other people that are maybe in the weeds, they may care more about like, what keywords are we going for? What are we doing to like make these changes? How much are we spending on these keywords? How much sales are happening? And that's like, you have to understand that and create the actionable dashboard for that particular audience, because that's what's going to make it perform better. That's important.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So if you're talking to like a high level manager, they don't really want to know every single keyword and what, like for Google Ads, because that's where my main expertise lies. They don't really need to know click through rates and quality scores and everything like that. All they really want to know is maybe what's the revenue and what's the ROI potentially, and month on month changes. But when you're talking to an analyst, it's a totally different thing. Absolutely. Another good example. So we've created some dashboards around, we might manage 30, 40 clients a month. So we've created some dashboards where we pull in all of their budget and spends, and we're able to see, with a click, what the current running budget is on every single account, and, if we're overspending or underspending. So again, keeping that data really clean and being able to see really clearly what the outcome is from those dashboards is really important, and not to get bogged down in the weeds all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And when it comes to the data-driven advertising campaigns,
yeah.
So after the iOS 14 update, it really made it where we can't rely on Facebook. So that's what it showed like completely. And now Facebook data is just broken. It's just full out broken. Okay. So with that in mind, now we have to really show data in a different way. Rather than only having a Facebook dashboard, now we have to start looking at other advertising channels that might be more profitable. So now we have to look at Google. Now we have to look at LinkedIn. Now we have to look at TikTok, like all these other platforms. And combining that in all in one dashboard is very difficult to make those data-driven decisions. So how have you really navigated this to show all these channels in one dashboard to make it very relevant to the user? How have you been approaching that?
Yeah, so we definitely have that problem. We've got a lot of clients that run multiple ad platforms. So unfortunately, with Google Data Studio, which is the main dashboard solution that we use, there is no kind of native connections for a lot of these platforms. So you actually have to use a tool like Power My Analytics. We've got a number of dashboards where you could see on byMarketers that actually do this all for you. So you literally you can go in and get the template. A lot of them are for free. You connect up with Power My Analytics, and it automatically pulls all this data into the dashboard. And I speak to a lot of people about this and how to properly do it. And a lot of people say to me, I'm going to go and create my own one. But it's kind of like creating your own dashboard can take, like, I've seen people take days and days and days to do it. And sometimes it's worth, even getting a free one or spending $100 and getting a template that's somebody's been sitting there already thinking about how to present this to the client, like doing all the UX and UI, because that's another point with dashboards. Like, you really need to think about the user experience on a dashboard. It's kind of like a mini website.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, totally. I mean, people don't realize is how much time goes into design and thinking about the flow on the dashboard and how people are going to navigate between the pages. A lot of the dashboards have like buttons to move between pages and buttons you can click to drill down into a report, which is really taking you to a new page. So they're actually quite complex, like a website. They have multiple pages and multiple drill downs. So I think I think one of the takeaways I would say is think about, like, you don't want to sit there and be a UX person, be a data analyst, be a designer, and create a dashboard, which could take you weeks. Think
Yep.
about that people have actually been sitting there thinking about these things,
Mhm.
and you can spend, let's say, $100 and have all this done for you potentially. So, I mean, the best thing to do is just to have a look at some of those dashboards. Like, they're really been really well thought out, and they present all this, these multiple data sources already for you.
And it's important because they're already going to have context of what's relevant. So rather than you having to define all the KPIs, the key performance indicators, saying, okay, this is what's relevant to me, and then they still don't know the relevance and like ways to aggregate that data that might display it in a better way. Like,
Yeah.
for example, if you go to a Facebook, if you go to a person that is creating your dashboard and they have Facebook ad context, they might say, okay, Victor, it's this showing it the ad performance level, that so you can see what ad graphic is performing the best. Only someone with Facebook ad context is going to know how to create something like that. And it's not like you have to know this granular, deep like thing. You just have to know like 10 minutes. Like, rather than having this, like, I always say there's a huge difference between a graphic designer and a Facebook advertiser. Like, basically a person that the graphic designer is always going to make something that's pretty, but the Facebook advertiser is going to make something that's actually useful. So, like, that's the difference. Like, you can create this pretty dashboard that looks amazing. It like user interface looks amazing, but it's not actionable. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're utilizing someone with context with that particular platform, they will be able to create you a much better dashboard than any user interface expert can.
Yeah, look, I totally agree. You hit the nail on the head there. I mean, it's interesting, like, you know, so people can create dashboards, and you can buy dashboard templates, but at the end of the day, every campaign is set up differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you an example. So some people like to run funnel-based campaigns. So they might do a cross-platform funnel where they'll use Facebook ads to drive top of funnel awareness, and then they'll use Google ads, for example, to drive bottom of funnel. The people searching for the keywords with purchase qualifiers on the end of the keywords. So people might be using one platform and driving it across to another platform. So
Yeah.
when you set up a dashboard for that, you kind of want to show it. You want to show Facebook top of funnel and Google ads bottom of funnel, and you might want to do like some funky kind of funnel design on your dashboard page. So
Yeah.
so there is definitely a certain level of customization that the practitioner needs to have in the dashboard. But even still, having a dashboard that already talks about the main KPIs, as you said, on each platform. So your main KPI for a Facebook campaign might be impressions or cost per thousand impressions, whereas your main KPI for Google Ads in that case might be bottom line revenue. So you want to have those KPIs. So pre-made templates will already have some level. They've already gone some way there, but you might still need to customize your dashboards a little bit according to how you run your campaigns. I mean, everyone runs campaigns differently, and that's why some people choose one agency over another as well. So
True.
so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of different tactics and strategies, and that's where it's so important to have that data to make your strategies actually
Yeah.
useful. Like, you can strategize and hypothesize all day, but
Yeah.
if you don't have the data, because you know this more than anyone,
Yeah.
Amazon data sucks. Like, the user interface
Yeah.
is awful. You have to extract 17 different reports in 17 different places, and you have to like 17 different sheets and one v
Oh, it's
lookups, and
so
like
bad.
like it's a mess. It is
It's so bad.
horrible. And like, being able to have all that data in one dashboard and like saying, okay, these are the things I need to do, and then now you can actually create like really fast strategies saying, okay, this
Mm.
ad type is working, for example, we need to do more of that. And now you're actually having actionable strategies rather than hypothesizing everything. You can actually have these useful strategies and kind of go from there, because Amazon just doesn't give you that information in an easy way. So it's
Absolutely.
nice to have something that compiles it.
What do you do for Amazon for your reporting? Do you use a dashboard like Sellerboard or anything like that?
For like total Amazon dashboard, I use Google Data Studio.
Oh, you use Google Data Studio. Yeah, right. So we've been using Sellerboard. I don't know if you've seen that,
Mm-mm.
which is quite cool. But we have a couple of Google Data Studio dashboards as well, which we've been tinkering with as well. But I mean, at the moment, Sellerboard seems quite good if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I usually don't like using tools
Yep.
because of the lack of capabilities for me to show certain things.
Yep.
Like
It's
I like,
definitely
yeah, I
it's
like the
less.
ability to customize it.
Yeah, it's definitely less customizable. But it's a good solution out of the box. But yeah, if you want something really customizable where you can present things in different ways and cut the data in different ways, Data Studio is probably better. So
Okay, well, yeah, it does have lifetime value, which is valuable. So
yeah,
that's interesting. But most things, I'll definitely check out Seller Board there. But
yeah,
tying into our question,
yeah.
we have a
Sorry.
question on the side. When do we get a Power My Analytics connector for Amazon ads? For now, I use an Excel export. So basically, Power My Analytics has really been trying to get the Amazon connector. I don't have an ETA on when that will happen, but they are working very, very hard to get that to where it's in full action, where the Amazon connector is in full throttle, essentially. So right now you can get all the Amazon MWS data, meaning all the product level data,
Mm.
everything else. You just Amazon Ads is a whole other API, so that's what they've been trying to connect to. So they're working hard to get that in action. For now, you will have to use that Excel report. There are other ways to export that, but for now, like they're working really hard to get that and really feed in that Amazon ad connector, because that's been a um, huge thing. So yes, um, right now you're gonna have to do it through that particular way until they update that. But just so you kind of understand like how I analyze my Amazon data and my Amazon ad data, I basically do it by format. So when it comes to Amazon ads, I see it like, okay, how much are we spending on sponsored brand video? How much are we spending on sponsored product? And I say, okay, there's the different a costs, and this is what makes us more profitable. And then I divert more budget into that. And that like just that example alone is how I interpret my data to make actionable decisions. So like that's what is super valuable for me, and that makes it where we can scale up clients at a whole new level. So I didn't know how far in Amazon you wanted to go with all of that, but yes, that is basically how we use our Amazon dashboard. We use Google Data Studio and kind of go from there.
Yeah, awesome. That I can't wait for that PMA connector for Amazon ads to come out. That'll be really good. We'll
Yeah, I
definitely
know a lot.
be
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for it.
yeah, we'll definitely be playing with that one.
Yeah. And then also being able to export that into a Google sheet would be like unbelievably
Oh,
valuable. Like,
that'd be great.
like it's the Google, oh wait, hot off the press. Okay, this is from Morgan, CEO of Power My Analytics. Hot off the press, Amazon Ads by Power My Analytics is in beta. You will see Amazon Ads available connector when you create a PMA account. Okay,
There
so
you
it
go.
looks like it is available and in beta currently. So it looks like that might be an option. I have not got a chance to play around with it since it's right off the press. But yes, it looks like
There you go.
they're
Live
telling.
update.
Yeah, yeah.
Things
Hey,
are building
we're
up.
getting this is live. Like this is currently like live, like
It's
as it
happening right
happens.
now.
So yeah, go ahead and test it out. And being able to export that in a Google Sheet, like which is That's where like
Yeah,
it's
that'll be good.
amazing because since a lot of us are data nerds here,
Yeah,
we really like Google Sheets. Like
yeah, yeah,
the ability to put it in a way and aggregate it the way we want to is so valuable. So that way we can see it by particular day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, or seeing it what by quarter, by month. Like the capabilities that we're able to aggregate data within a Google
yeah.
Sheet is just so valuable for us rather than this constant Excel copy paste like export import like like this is literally how it is, and it's just such a mess, and having that
Yeah.
all in a Google Sheet is just so valuable.
It's really interesting because as I said, I come from a Google Ads background. That's been probably my main platform for the last 10 years,
Mhm.
even more actually. And Google Ads is an unbelievable tool,
Yeah.
um, like unbelievable the power that the tool has. I don't know how much experience you have with it,
Mhm.
but um, so I've been playing with Amazon ads probably for the last year and a half, and it's in terms of technical ability, it's nowhere near where Google Ads is, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of ability to drive revenue, I think it even surpasses Google Ads. Like it's as a bottom of funnel platform, it's unbelievable, but it's also unbelievable how far behind Google Ads it is. And so
Yeah.
having this ability to download the data into Excel or Google Sheets is going to be is probably going to be a game changer, I would say. You know,
Yeah.
to be able to analyze it the way you analyze Google Ads is going to be really really useful, especially for
It's
us.
it's because of the search intent on Amazon is so
Yeah,
high.
yeah,
Like on when you send traffic to your e-commerce site,
yeah,
if you have a 3% conversion rate, you are partying. Like everyone, like the entire company is like
yeah,
dancing. Everybody's
yeah,
like, everyone's like, like everyone's just going crazy.
yeah,
Okay. But a bad conversion rate on Amazon is 15%. Like
yeah.
you need to like really optimize if you're at a 15% conversion rate. And
It's
that's
unbelievable.
extremely low. And from an advertising perspective, it's a gold mine. Like if you're working with 25% conversion rates, like that is amazing.
Yeah,
Now keep in mind, Amazon advertising is increasingly getting way more expensive. So
yeah,
with that in mind, making data-driven decisions on that is crucial. And Amazon advertising is starting to become way more the creative aspect. That's where they're really pushing with sponsored display ads, sponsored brand custom image ads,
yeah,
sponsor like all these different ad types are coming now, and all these other formats that your competitors aren't using, because it's important to be doing whatever your competitors are not doing.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you're able to break down the data and say, okay, this is how much we're spending on sponsored brand video ads. I need to pour more money into it. And making those decisions is crucial for Amazon ads. It's crucial.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And and when you put that in Google Sheets, you'll be able to automatically aggregate that data, which will make your life a million times easier.
Totally.
So kind of backing up a little bit. What do you see as advanced techniques in the paid media platforms? So where do you so you said you focus a lot on Google Ads
Yeah.
and everything else. Is there anything that you are seeing that is a better way to either show the cross channel dashboards, either that, or are you seeing any other platforms doing better than others? And I'd love to get your perspective on that.
Yeah. So that's a great question. So firstly, so Google Ads, as I said, has been my main thing, and you can also check out on our website. So the website is oneegg.com.au, like one egg they eat for breakfast,
Mhm.
and we have a subsection of the website devoted to training courses. So I put out a course there called Advanced Google Ads, which you can check out, which has about 13 sections about different advanced Google Ads strategies, and a lot of them are really data driven based. So
Mhm.
for the audience that's really interested in how to optimize campaigns, and it's not just Google Ads, it's also Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads.
Yeah.
From a data driven perspective, I think that might be really interesting for you guys. I can talk about some of the techniques
Mhm.
here if you'd like. Um, but to answer your question, like across different trends, we've you know we've definitely seen a big shift from paid search to paid social. I would say when we started out, most clients were more interested. I'm talking 10 years ago, in paid search campaigns, and now we're seeing a lot more interest in paid social campaigns. And even for bottom of funnel, we find that
Yeah.
paid social, like Facebook ads, has become really popular, and also actually has started working a lot better than paid search as well. We do a lot of B2B advertising as well. So we work a lot with LinkedIn ads.
Good.
Um, LinkedIn ads is definitely the most expensive platform we've
Oh
found.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, if you have a client that's the CPCs are around $3-4 on Google Ads, you could see CPCs on LinkedIn of up to $20,
Yeah.
if not more, easily. But having said that, the conversion rates on LinkedIn and the ability to target your audience if you're B2B is second to none. So I think that's another trend we're seeing with clients really willing to invest more in platforms where they can see they can target their audiences better. I think clients are coming to understand this better than they used to. So, a lot of people used to just be about, let's create a campaign. And I talk about this a lot in the course, that a lot of people are technically very good at running paid search campaigns or paid advertising campaigns, but strategically they're not good. So they don't necessarily have that marketing background where they're
Mhm.
able to step back and think about who is the target customer, right? And create that segmentation analysis where you split your potential market into lots of different segments and you choose which segment you're going to go after. And then you position your business in a way that you look at all your competitors and how they're positioned within the segmentation analysis, and then you position your business a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So a lot of marketers and a lot of digital marketers are not very good at that part. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of clients are coming around to seeing this. And once you can do this really well, um, people are more open to choosing platforms that might be more expensive, but have a better ability to target those customers. And I think that's also where the data driven analysis comes in, and thinking more about techniques that are a little bit more old school, like segmentation and analysis, which is, you know, it's a bit more old school. It's not really on the technical digital marketing side,
Mhm.
but it's very much about the data. And that I don't know if I'm going too deep into this, but that's more doing um, market research and surveys and things like that even before you start your advertising campaigns.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, like understanding the audience is super crucial. And
Yeah.
lately, what we've been doing is TikTok's been the hot market, the hot topic right now with
Yeah.
everything that's going on with Amazon. Everyone wants the TikTok influencer stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, what we've been doing is we've been using Power My Analytics. It's actually really fascinating that we were able to aggregate this. So we basically have a correlation between because a lot of people on Amazon, they see, wow, my sales, I got, like, basically my client said, hey, I got $20,000 increase in sales, Victor. What happened? And then we traced it back to a TikTok post that went viral.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what we did was we linked the connector with Power My Analytics, showed a chart that the direct correlation of TikTok views to Amazon sales in one dashboard. So we were able to see the correlation of TikTok views to Amazon sales. And they were like, Victor, first of all, this is amazing, and we need to start spending more time on TikTok. So that's how we got really invested into the TikTok industry and
Yeah.
started launching like influencer management for clients. But
Yeah.
like showing that data in that particular way, you would never think like, okay, why would that even correlate? But if you actually show it in one chart, the TikTok views to Amazon sales correlation, it's really fascinating. Like social
Yeah.
proof to get sales, and seeing that the correlation of that is really powerful to know that information. So
Yeah.
it's really fascinating too.
That's awesome. That's probably, you've touched on probably one of our biggest issues I'd
Hmm.
say our biggest issues, which is attribution.
Yeah.
So actually, so when you run these multi-platform campaigns, the biggest issue is really attribution. How can you know which platform is driving conversions? Um, and and we actually don't have a great solution for this. I mean, Google has Google Analytics, which I don't know how familiar you are with it,
Yeah.
with all the multi attribution reporting. It's okay, like it works a little bit, but it doesn't give you the full picture. And then you have the view through conversion columns in Google Ads, which kind of, if you run display campaigns, it kind of does show you a little bit of how many people viewed the ad and end up converting later on. And then you have the issues of attribution between the Google Ads tag versus the Google Analytics tag, and they're different, and why they're different, and that's a whole another big discussion.
It's a
But
huge topic,
it's
huge. It's
a,
one of the most
it's
important topics because basically
yeah,
Facebook, after Facebook, the iOS 14 update, Facebook died and it killed a lot of companies.
yeah,
So with that in mind, basically, what you're able to do, Google Analytics has the best attribution, mainly because Google basically implemented this Google user tracking essentially. When you're logged in Chrome, it's able to track you every step of the way, making Google Analytics the best attribution platform right now. But basically, you're able to implement
yeah,
that and send that data across multiple different data streams. Basically, what I'm saying, it's going to push all this data together, and you can use UTM tags. So if you're not familiar with UTM tags, basically when a person clicks on a Facebook ad, it goes to a link and it goes to your website and it says UTM source Facebook ads. And then basically what you're telling your your Google Analytics, you're telling all your data feeds, saying, "Hey, I'm a user and I came from Facebook." That's what you're telling the website. And from there, you're going to have a much better tracking capability by using those UTM tags. And now you're talking with first party data rather than third party data, which is like the Facebook pixels and things like that. Now you're working with first party data, which is a lot better. And then you can start using third party tools and integrating and things like that. But to not get in the nitty gritty of it, now using UTM tags, you're able to show the customer lifetime journey a little bit better now, and you're able to really track that out in a little bit better way. So
yeah.
yes, attribution is horrible across everything. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's a ways to mitigate it to make it where your ads are like performing better, and you're able to make a little bit more actionable decisions using those UTM tags.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is that I agree totally. The UTM tags are essential, and even with the UTM tags, you still have a lot of
True.
attribution issues because
Yeah.
let's say you send traffic from Facebook and it's all tagged up correctly and it comes to your website, but then the user after that clicks on a Google ad, and then after that, so they leave the site and then they click on the Google organic search and then they convert. So
Yeah.
how do you attribute that, right? So
Hmm.
which is fine.
Hmm.
But so as what you touched on with the TikTok, correlating the TikTok graph with the other graph, the conversion graph, I think is really clever, and we do that a little bit as well. So even though we have the UTM tags and we know that Google Display we might have run a 10,000 impression campaign on Google Display, and we tagged it up. It's still correlating that graph of when all those impressions came and those clicks came to your website against a spike in conversion can tell you a lot. So that's actually a really good strategy as well.
Hmm. Yeah,
For
and like we mainly work with TikTok as the virality component of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's so likely to post go viral. So we really is TikTok is the only thing we ever do that for.
okay,
And now that we're really diving with like TikTok ads, Facebook ads, and things like that, we have to when it comes to attribution, we're able at the most simplest form, I can give you how much we're spending on each platform, the attributed sales that they give us. Okay. So if Facebook says it, and that information is gonna be off, but and then the correlation of sales. I can say on this day we spent this much on Facebook, on this day we spent this much on Facebook, and then how much sales did go up and down. At its simplest form, we will always have that data saying, okay, I spent $100 on Facebook, and $20 on TikTok, this is what our sales were on this particular day. And if I
Yeah.
increase TikTok spend, it does this. And I can give you that information. But when it comes to attributing those sales, yes, UTM tags are only going to go so far unless you use a third party tool to track all that information. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that no one just uses one platform. Like it's like the user journey is not like this. In no scenario has it ever looked like this. It's
Yeah.
this. Like people are going from Facebook, they're going to TikTok, they're going to Instagram, they're going to Snapchat. Like they're doing a million different things, and you won't be able to directly attribute to one particular thing. You just have to get in front of as many eyes as possible and increase sales from there. And I know that's not necessarily the best data driven decision in the world, but it's going to get you a lot closer than trying to work it out with this iOS 14 update, because attribution is really broken right now. It really is.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people don't even realize they do those journeys. So even if you call them up and ask them, they won't even be able to tell you. Like some people think a Google ad is the same as a Google organic listing. And so if you say, "How did you get to my site? Did you click an ad?" They'll say, "No, I just found you on Google," and they don't even know. So
Yeah.
you need to track. You really need to track it.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say there are really good tools out there to track UTM tracking, to
Yeah,
where like if someone like starts on a Facebook ad, clicks a UTM tag, and then clicks a Google ad, and then like there's really cool tools out there that are able to track that whole step and that whole customer journey. And yes, you're gonna get things that are broken in there, like just naturally, but it will get you closer on that side. And then there are a lot of other ways to fix like e-commerce sites. And I was speaking from a B2B perspective. And there's also ways to fix it on the e-commerce side that are a little bit easier, like the Shopify, to really fix the attribution, because e-commerce companies were really affected in a really, really bad way. And basically the way we've been fixing it is we've been applying a data layer, combining different data sources. And that's just a fancy way to say we're taking the Facebook pixel, the Google Analytics pixel, the Google Ads pixel, the Google Tag Manager, cross-referencing them. And then from there, we're basically making sure that all of them have the same data, and then just basically sending that out to all platforms. And we've been seeing really positive results from that. So that's how we've been navigating the e-commerce side to kind of fix that along, to get it where your data is a little bit better, which has
yeah,
been
that's really
very
cool.
helpful.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
So is there anything that you think would be relevant that you see either within dashboards, within advertising, that you think that would be relevant to communicate, that you're saying like, Victor, this thing is really messed up. I see a lot of dashboards that do this. I see a lot of advertisers that do this, and they need to be doing A, B, and C. Do you have anything right there that you want to communicate?
Um, yeah, look, I think as I said before, I think I see a lot of, we probably talk to hundreds of people every month that come to the website, that come to byMarketers, to looking for dashboards. A lot of them can't find what they want, and they want customized dashboards. And I'm always really amazed that people really want to build dashboards from scratch, when, especially with Google. I know I've said it before,
Yeah.
so I'd say that's probably the biggest thing I see that really amazes me. There's just so many templates out there, like not just on our website. There's other websites. Google has its own. Google Data Studio has its own template gallery, which is some really amazing work. Some of the creators that host dashboards on the Google Gallery host on ours as well. So I've seen a lot of their work. It's just their work is excellent.
Yeah.
So I just think, talking to all these people every week, that kind of amazes me all the time, that there's so many good designs out there that you can already use. Yeah, I think that's probably, the main thing when it comes to dashboards, to think about. We're expanding our website. Originally we started exclusively on Data Studio, and now we're actively expanding into other areas. So Google Sheets, Palm Analytics is excellent with populating Google Sheets, and we have some some creators on our website that have even created like really cool Google Sheets visualization. So you can actually use Google Sheets as a dashboard as well. Funny enough, even though it integrates beautifully already with Data Studio. But I think the marketing community is fantastic that they're so open and sharing. Whether it's Google Ads or whether it's SEO or whether it's Amazon. I mean, one of the reasons I was attracted to the industry was that people are so open and sharing, and you can learn so much just from your peers. I mean, from being at Prosper, how people share and how open they are, which is great. I mean, I've been to SEO and SEM, SMX, all these places where they present, and it's just fantastic to see how people share in the industry. So I think sharing and all the collaboration is great.
Yeah, and like let's be honest, we're all nerds, and so there are actually very few people out there that like building dashboards, that like data and everything
Yeah,
else, and that
yeah,
it's a very rare interest for people to have. So we're probably
yeah,
all sympathizing with each other at some
yeah,
level, to kind of make it fun and really interact with the community. And I totally agree. It's really nice to really see people sharing. And really
yeah.
getting out there. It really is amazing.
Yeah, we love that, and that's probably the main reason we built the website, just to make it the sharing easier, um, and the collaborative nature of it all just easier. Just having people come together and discuss and share things and see what one person has and another person doesn't. It's worth sharing it essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. And another question on the side, off topic but underway, for an Ahref connector. Um, I love that tool. First of all, they're awesome
yeah,
SEO tool.
amazing.
But I am not sure about that. We would have to communicate, circle back with the team, and really see with where either if we are in works with that or if we are going to eventually start with that. But currently, not sure about that yet. But we can circle back and get back to. Um, but yes, like being like a data company, it's just there's so many different ways. There's so many different like tools out there, that are constantly ever changing in this like constant game of marketing and really getting out there. So there's probably a bajillion other tools that like Power My Analytics could connect to.
Yeah,
That would be awesome, but obviously they are caught up with a million other things too. So
yeah.
yes. So yes, Mark, I'd love to hear. Is there anything else that you think that would be relevant to the audience? That you think would be important? Things that you see people are doing wrong when it comes to reporting automation,
Yeah.
advertising in general. Is there anything else you want to make sure there?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can I can talk a little bit about the templates we found on the website that are the most popular, which I think might be interesting to your audience. We do have an Amazon template, so
Mhm.
it's I mean it's quite a small niche for the website. I
Yeah.
think the most popular things that I'm seeing. So we've got three main audiences, and the first one would be e-commerce website owners. The
Mhm.
second one would be small-time digital marketers, and the third one would be just I think agency owners as well. So large agency owners,
Mhm.
and because we have this audience, the most popular templates are probably general analytics templates
Yeah.
that people are looking for. And we found that a lot of people are also interested in user flow and how people are flowing across their website. So I think having that in mind, if you're interested in the dashboard and data space, if you're looking to build dashboards like that, they're going to be very popular. And if you're looking to understand more about your website and how people behave on your website, those are things that byMarketers can really help you with. We're working with Power Analytics, obviously, to bring lots more dashboards out and to give as much data as possible.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think on the dashboard side, that's really the most interesting things that are happening,
Yeah.
essentially.
That's amazing. So,
Yeah,
Mark, I bet we can go on for this for 2 more hours of just all data, all the granular connectors, and everything else.
yeah,
But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So, Mark, please tell the
awesome.
audience how to find you, what
Yep.
social media profiles to look at, so that way they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so the website is oneegg.com.au. You can email me, Mark, M-A-R-K, at oneegg.com.au, or, you can find me on bymarketers.co. Yeah, or on LinkedIn, I'll answer any questions or anything you guys are interested in, whether it's dashboarding, whether it's Google Ads, or also, as I said, we've lately ventured into Amazon private labels. So any questions there? Yep, I'm here. It was
That's
great. It
amazing.
was great chatting with you, Victor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is the Data Rules podcast. Thank you so much for joining. I hope everyone has a great day. Mark, thank you so much for joining as well, and hope to have
Great
you
to be
soon.
here.
See you
All the
guys.
best.